Crossplay, crossing into the virtual unknown. The time now is October 2017, and I, Andrew House, as President of Sony Interactive Entertainment, will be handing the reins over to my Deputy President. Hi there, John. John, I need to walk you through everything that Sony has been doing over the last decade as we've been battling Microsoft for market share. We're going to have a look at 2011 and 2016 in the view of game theory to assess our business strategy at this stage. But first, John, let's understand who the players are, the competitors, and how the market works. Who are the players? Well, it's just Microsoft and Sony. We have fiercely battled with Microsoft for gaming console market share since 2011, functioning as a two-sided market with gaming console user adoption dependent upon networking effects and restricting consumers to either Sony or Microsoft branded compatible software games and network subscriptions. This is a notorious concept gaming culture refers to as console tribalism. The unprecedented pace of technological acceleration in both computing power and internet server capacity and speeds has dramatically transformed the entire gaming industry landscape, shifting it into the online realm. The emergence of online, social, or network gaming has made the US gaming entertainment industry one of the largest and fastest growing entertainment markets, generating approximately $30 billion annually. As a result, our primary revenue spinners, the hardcore gamers, have grown an insatiable appetite for new gameplay experiences that fully incorporate this highly connected social element and hyper competition online. Since the end of the PlayStation 3 lifecycle in 2011, our sixth console generation, online gaming features have been introduced. With the development and release of the PlayStation 4, however, these online connectivity features for gaming have grown and become fully integrated and enhanced in our consoles. But here enters the dilemma, John. The online gamers have sparked a plea for open cross-platform play functionality, which would require cross-console play between PlayStation and Xbox. John, technically speaking, cross-platform play is a software game's capability to have players playing online games using different hardware platforms, simultaneously playing and interacting with one another. The hardware platforms are across different consoles and platform devices. John, we have greatly supported cross-play between our PlayStation consoles and other non-console platforms such as PCs, mobile and tablet devices since 2011. But currently, the crossplay must be restricted in order to keep Sony and Microsoft competing in a two-sided market. John, there are several benefits and costs to allowing crossplay. The benefits, well, mostly they're from our network effects. We're going to generate larger communities of players, and that's going to lead to more players through the viral distribution of our games, and it's also going to mean more gamers, more software distributors will come our way. The negatives though, well, we're going to be losing sales, consoles and software, and there's going to be a lack of quality control with the gaming experience. And of course, we'll be helping Microsoft. John, I will now hand you over to our strategic consultant who will walk you through crossplay using game theory.
Hi John, so there's two rounds of negotiation in 2011 and 2016, but first let's take a look at 2011. So the market situation in 2011 is that Xbox has overall sales of more than us, so they're having the leading in market share, but overall market is actually declining because of the new competition from Wii and also from the smartphone. So what happened is that we propose crossplay to them, right? And there's two scenarios that can happen, is that first we both corporate or none about corporate, because it's impossible for one side to do corporate and one side to not do corporate. And what we do is that we use the scenario that is not possible as our baseline in doing the calculation of financial analysis on what would be the incremental profit of the two scenarios. For both scenarios, the market will still go down by approximately 19.5%. For scenario 1, we will get some of the market share while Microsoft will lose that to us. On scenario 2, if no one cooperate, we will be losing market share to Microsoft. There will be increased software infrastructure cost for scenario 1 while there's none in scenario 2. Incremental profit for scenario 1 for us will be around 2.8 million, while for Microsoft is 6.6. On scenario 2, we'll only get 600,000, while Microsoft will take most of the profit of 10.6 million. This leads to the game theory concept called Battle of the Sexes. As mentioned earlier, it's impossible for one side to cooperate and another doesn't. So that is the baseline in our calculation of incremental profit. If both cooperate, this is the number of incremental profit that each of us will get. If none of us cooperate, then we get a lower amount, while Microsoft will get a much higher one. So in result, there's two Nash equilibrium for our model of Battle of the Sexes. Now we can look at the decision tree on how the decision is made. So there's Microsoft and there's Sony, right? And Microsoft can either cooperate or not cooperate, and we can decide whether we want to cooperate or not cooperate. And these are the incremental profit that we discussed earlier. So we cut out the one that get the lowest incremental profit out right away, which is the conflicting decision, which is not possible. So what happened is that Microsoft, they will select the decision not to cooperate because that would give them a higher incremental profit, and that would be the resulting decision. And that is exactly what happened. They rejected us and say this to the press.
We can't guarantee the level of quality or control to the players. That said, we do not open our network to games that allow this crossover capability.
So after that disappointment, we decide to fight back. We launched PS4, and that gained us a lot of market share. And that led to the market situation in 2016, the second round of negotiation. Right now, we are the #1 player. We have the highest market share, but the console market is still declining. This is because the Nintendo Switch and also a huge boom in smartphone. And now, as you may imagine, they come to us. They still want to do crossplay, and that leads to the same possible outcome as mentioned in 2011. So in both scenarios, the market is declining by 7.6%. In scenario 1, we'll still gain market share, but in much lower magnitude. As in scenario 2, we'll get 7% market share, which is higher. There'll be some incremental infrastructure costs, and incremental profits is 56 million when we both cooperate for us, and for them 22 million. But instead, if we don't cooperate, we get 76, and they only have 2. That leads to the same type of game theory concept, Battle of the Sexes, where we have base of 0 and 0, and this is the profit number, lead to 2 Nash equilibrium as mentioned. Look at the decision tree. We have Sony, we have Microsoft. Now we have the Microsoft will not take the one that is conflicting decision, same as 2011, but now we get to decide. So we decided not to cooperate because that leads to a higher profit number for us. And that leads to our decision of rejecting them. And this is what we tell the press.
We've got to be mindful of our responsibility to our install base. We have a contract with people who go online with us, and we need to take care of them at the PlayStation curated universe.
John, I hope you have gained valuable insight using the economic way of thinking with game theory. But remember, the gaming console industry is a cyclical business, and a win for Sony today does not guarantee one tomorrow. John, I need you to step up and continue to keep the scoreboard healthy for Sony. The traditional gaming console market has transformed, and this cross-play debate is not going away.
Thank you.
If in the future crossplay means recapturing gamers and software revenue being stolen by substitute products, then maybe, just maybe, Sony and Microsoft will cooperate. But if it comes to this, John, you will need to cross this bridge on your own. Just remember to use the game theory application you have learned today. Good luck, John.
Thank you.
And that's the end of our presentation.